Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Just a heads up, I am a little sick, so if I look a little sickly, no need to comment in the comments. I know I'm sick. I think everybody's been kind of getting it lately. When I'm releasing this, it'll have been like a month after this, but right now everything's going down. Today we are on Demon Slayer Season 1, Episode 3. I'm very excited to keep going with this series. I think this season is going to be a lot of learning. Obviously, when you're watching a show for the first time, that is all it is, but I think there's going to be a lot of exposition setting us up for what we're going to follow with the characters. Luckily, in the show, and for all of our entertainment, the exposition of this show is the journey. So I think there's just a lot to learn along the way. There's a lot of questions I have about the world that are being answered through his journey. I'm super excited to get into this more. He just got, I guess, approved to be trained, and so we're probably going to get into more of the training process. I'm excited to learn more about the demons. I obviously am very interested to learn if Nezuko can be made human again, or if there's any sort of likeness to her old self that she can have. Is there a world where she's maintained as a demon but can be like herself? The other demon was very talkative, so maybe she could just be herself and live off of something else besides human blood. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of I don't know why, but in my head, the first thing I thought of was on the Vampire Diaries, how, like, spoiler alert, Stefan lived off of animals for a while, like woodland animals, squirrels and things like that, and it weakened him, but he was still able to maintain living that way, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if it could be something like that. I guess we'll see. In the meantime, I've been doing a little housekeeping at the beginning of each episode, and I'm just getting back into the flow of things now that the strike is over, now that filming is back into business, now that I can talk about releases and stuff. If you haven't, check out my movie Ouija Witch on Peacock. I'm on The Gilded Age on HBO if you're bored. That one's harder to see me on, but I am on it. And I have a movie called Gentleman Caller coming out. The trailer is at least out now, so check it all out. I'd appreciate it. If you want to follow more of my acting stuff, follow my Instagram at Chris Jenner. If you want to follow any of my music, it's all there as well, and it's also on my other YouTube, my Chris Jenner Music YouTube. I've got more tour dates coming up, etc., etc. I'm also going to be starting a bunch of new series on here. I know next month I've got another one releasing, and then in the following month I probably got one with my partner where they're going to guest on and we're going to watch stuff together. I'm super excited to get the channel rolling now that everything kind of can be rolling, and as you can see, I've got the blue screen behind me, but I am slowly setting up a space so that I will actually have a recording space, which will make it so much easier to just set up, record, and go instead of me having to set up a makeshift filming space every time I do an episode in a different location in a different house. So I'm super excited about that. Last but not least, I do have a Patreon. Really, there's nothing on it still. I keep mentioning it just because it exists. It's got one tier. The only thing that you would get from it right now would just be a very gracious thank you. I plan on building that up as the channel builds, if the channel builds, etc., etc., etc. So no pressure, but it does exist, and so I feel like I have to mention it. Without further ado, let's just get into the episode. Just writing in my journal. I used to keep a journal when I was young. Not so much anymore, though. Now my journals are like lyrics. I do handwrite everything. Is that weird? Destroy.
We number in the hundreds.
Okay, there's hundreds of them. Okay.
Since ancient times, we have existed to hunt down demons. Demons. Their staple food, humans. They hunt and kill them. It is unclear when or where they first appeared.
Sorry if I'm being quiet. I'm learning about the demons.
Incredible physical prowess. Their wounds heal almost instantly.
Okay.
Flesh completely restores itself. Severed limbs regenerated.
Regenerated limbs?
They can only be killed by sunlight or decapitation with a special sword.
What kind of special sword?
As humans, wounds are slow to heal, and their lost limbs are unable to grow back. Nevertheless, they fight to protect and defend humanity.
I feel like I'm watching an intro video to demon slaying. Like if I was Tanjiro, I'd be like sitting in a classroom and that's like the first thing they'd show before the teacher comes out and is like, "Hey y'all, welcome to Academy. Welcome to the Academy."
There are many other trainers. They all educate their students using their own methods. To complete your training and join the Demon Slayer Corps, you will have to survive the final selection process on Mount Fujikasane.
Okay.
I'm descending the mountain again today.
He's getting really good.
I'm much stronger now, and somehow I've gotten even better at picking up subtle scents than I was before.
Training, that'll do it. I've got to go to the gym after this.
The traps are getting more difficult. I'm starting to think he wants me dead.
Yeah, that one could... If you fall into a pit of knives, you'll just die. That's... I guess this is no joke. I want to know how she's doing, because if she's not eating or drinking any blood, is she doing okay? Like, how long can she go without sustenance?
As soon as I'm down the mountain, I swing it till I feel like my arms will fall off. 1,000!
Now do 500 more.
1,000... Oh. That journal's just gonna have drool in it.
Though strong along the blade's edge, it's very weak on the sides. So obviously, you have to apply the force where it's strongest. The direction the blade is facing and the direction you swing have to be exactly the same. Otherwise, it'll break.
I feel like I'm learning a lot about swords.
Nezuko, I have to work hard for her.
Is she bored?
Today I fell down. I'm training to do it as softly as possible. I raise my sword, charge Mr. Urokodaki, and try to kill him. But he's ridiculously strong. Nezuko, I'm home.
I mean, she's always just sleeping there?
Today's lesson was about breathing techniques and fighting forms. Total concentration breathing?
Sounds like I'm in yoga.
I'm going to teach you how to use all 10 water-breathing forms.
Water breathing?
Start by taking a long, deep breath. This will enhance your healing ability and stabilize as well as energize your spirit. Now relax your arms and shoulders, but keep your lower body braced. Now breathe.
Oh, we took a breath at the same time.
Right! How am I doing?
All wrong.
How about now?
Still wrong.
Now?
Again.
Now!
Terrible.
I get yelled at for not bracing my stomach and clobbered to a pulp. My next lesson, I had to become one with the water.
Get in already.
I like his training method.
As of now, Nezuko's been asleep for 6 months.
6 months? She does always sleep.
Urokodaki sent for a doctor to come look at her, but he couldn't find anything.
Can this doctor handle demons? I guess, like, what would she be doing if she was awake there? Just have to chill in the house? She can't eat people.
One morning I'm gonna wake up and she'll be dead.
Oh.
Every day, that thought haunts me.
It's a justified thought.
Coming down the mountain's even tougher now.
That's it. I've taught you all I can.
He's done training?
I've been on Mount Sagiri for a year.
A year?
The rest is all up to you.
This episode was a year long? I guess I liked that it was a year long because I would hate that it was like, after 1 month of training, I'm ready to fight demons. It's like, okay, a year is more believable.
If you can cut this boulder in two, I'll allow you to enter the final selection.
Cut this boulder in two?
Is that really even possible?
It doesn't have to be with your sword. It's gotta be a different way.
After that day, that was it. He never taught me anything again. From then on, I spent every day practicing what I'd learned from Urokodaki. All the basics, like holding my breath and staying flexible. It's a good thing I wrote it all down in this journal.
A fitness journal, pretty much. It's his training journal. And then when she wakes up, she can be like, oh, that's what you did?
But still, even after 6 more months, I can't cut through the boulder.
I feel like there's got to be another way to get the boulder to cut in half. Like, there's probably a trick to it.
Unless... Am I no good? Nezuko died just like this? I'm about to give up! It's impossible!
What if it's a trick and it is impossible and...
Silence!
Oh. Somebody showed up. Hold on.
It's unseemly to whine, so knock it off. Who's this guy?
Who is this guy?
Who the f is that guy?
A demon slayer bears his suffering in silence. Isn't that what you want to be?
You're not gonna be like everyone else.
You're slow, weak, and immature.
I mean, he can't go one episode without getting red.
What do you think you're doing? Trying to figure out what you think you're doing. How long do you plan to keep sitting on your butt?
I'm gonna sit on my butt.
Come on then, give me your best shot. But your sword's made of wood. I could hurt you.
Let's just say I don't think he's gonna hurt him.
How thoughtful of you. But do you honestly think you'd even be capable of giving me a scratch? I'm far more powerful than you are. I've already cut through my boulder.
Well, I guess that takes away my trick theory.
You obviously haven't learned anything.
I wouldn't say anything.
Didn't Urokodaki teach you? All you've done with your training is memorize the information. Your body still has no clue what it needs to do.
My mind's telling me no, but my body...
You have to make sure you never forget any of the secrets Urokodaki taught you!
He's been practicing.
I'm giving it all I've got! Every day! Except, I'm not getting anywhere!
Maybe the process is taking a long time, and its persistence is the answer.
Show me just what you're capable of!
Oh, he knocked him out.
I'll leave the rest to you.
Oh. Hey girl, who is this? Are they another brother and sister?
Please tell me you saw that? The way that guy hit me, it was just beautiful.
Oh, her eyes are pretty, huh?
I'm positive it is, because I'll be there to look after you.
Who are you?
She's cute.
Oh,
I'm sorry, who are you? The girl told me her name was Makomo.
Makomo.
And the name of the guy who beat me up was Sabito.
Sabito. I have a hard time remembering the names.
She corrected my unnecessary movements. But when I asked her why she was helping me and where she came from, she wouldn't say.
Sabito and I, we both love Urokodaki very much.
Are they related?
She and Sabito weren't siblings. They were orphans, and Urokodaki raised them.
With total concentration breathing, your blood circulation accelerates.
She should teach yoga.
That causes your body temperature to spike as well, allowing a human to fight with the strength of a demon.
None of that makes sense.
Train until it kills you.
So I trained till my arms and legs wanted to fall off. But still, Sabito kept beating me.
Does he just like randomly show up and fight him?
6 months later, that changed.
6 months later. His hair's getting long.
Once again, I challenged him to a duel. But this time, his sword was real.
Oh.
This is the day I win!
Drums.
It was all over in an instant. My blade struck first.
Oh, he slit his mask in half, but his face is still there. He has the same type of mark.
As soon as I'd won, Sabito smiled.
He has a friendly face.
You did just great. Never forget about this.
Are they about to disappear too? People sure do come and go, huh?
Next thing I knew, Sabito was gone. I was sure what my sword cut through was his mask. But no, it was the boulder.
Well, it's over. Okay, well, let's get into it. I mean, time has passed, all right? It's been a year and a half since we left off, pretty much. And Nezuko is still sleeping. I'm assuming still back at that guy's place, even though he's doing the boulder thing. This episode was really emphasizing the training he's going through. I'm really happy that they kind of didn't just let it be like, you're fighting for this month, and it turns out you're actually already a natural pro, and everything's gonna work out. It's gonna be great. Like a year of training with, I can't think of his name fast enough, and I don't want to spend too much time editing. So a year with that guy training, and then he gets to the boulder challenge, and these two come in to finish the job off, essentially. And it's another 6 months. So I like that they really took the time to let you know that the time and the training is really going into making him a fighter, and that this is something to be taken seriously and something that is truly life-threatening. If you didn't already know from your family getting killed at the beginning of the series, obviously it's a life and death situation, and I'm really glad that they're taking that seriously. I love the humor aspect of things here. I especially liked the training montage. I loved everything about the way he was calling him terrible and all this. I mean, Tanjiro just gets read and read and read to filth in every single episode by everyone who comes along. Like, you're not good at this, you're not good at that, you don't know anything, you're terrible. It's so good. Which is also pretty funny because I think one of the first things I said about him was he was kind of like the golden child of the family. So it's kind of a nice dynamic that he gets called all these things when I'm sure he was used to always being put on this, like, not pedestal, but he was very well liked, and he was just held to high regard, and people spoke to him in a manner that reflected that. And so it's kind of funny to see him like in these scenarios. I love the boulder concept. I don't know if my mind is just like, I can't, like, the line at the end of him saying, I thought I cut through his mask, but I cut through the boulder. I don't know if it's a metaphor. I don't know if they were there physically helping him along. And then for me, the physicality of it, I'm a little bit like, was there actually the fight and then he did that, or was it more of like an in his head type thing? I won't even go into it because I'm not going to dwell on the whether it's metaphor, whether it was physically real, whether it was conceptual fight that turned into that and he was physically there, but blah 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 blah, all these things. So what I do like though is that it showcased the severity and the seriousness of your training and how long it takes and how you don't just get it, because I think as viewers it is important to see that stuff too for us to access in our everyday lives, whether it be, you know, being a swordsman to fight demons, or whether it be like, I don't know, fixing your bathroom, where it's like you take time to learn these skill sets and you don't perfect them kind of ever. You always like are learning, right? And I think that I just, it's kind of dumb, but it's kind of silly of me, but I think I like the aspect a lot of just them showing a continuous growth and that it's not just that easy. And obviously I understand the metaphor for the fight and the rock, and I am really excited to see where this goes next, because now it seems like his journey with his training is almost complete and it's heading up to maybe the Fuji Mountain next. I don't know if it'll go that quickly or if there's going to be like a journey. I also don't know what's going to happen with Nezuko during all of that, because I mean right now she's just sleeping. So I guess we'll see. In the meantime, Merry Christmas. I believe this week should be, maybe not this week, but next week. I think the release of this is the last video before Christmas. I'm filming like a month out, so I'm not positive, but my schedule in my brain right now says that this is before Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. whatever holiday you choose to celebrate, happy it. If you had a good time here, please like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me. I am looking forward to the next episode, and have a good day.